Welcome to Popcorn Chat. I'm Kurt Jarvis. This episode is brought to you by Voltron, because I'm in a really big action summer kind of blockbustery mood. It's been a good summer so far. I have to admit, overall, I've been really happy with the quote-unquote summer blockbuster movies, and we still have a lot more to go, aka Spider-Man and aka Batman. So we're off to a great start. We've only had really two duds among us, and it's been a good year. It's been a good year. I'm really happy, Hollywood. You did well this year. You're going to really have to step up your game for next year, though. So, anyway. The movies that we'll be reviewing for you this week are Prometheus, That's My Boy, and Rock of Ages. Let's jump in with Rock of Ages, starring Tom Cruise, Paul Giamatti, Alec Baldwin, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and a whole bunch of other people. Okay? I liked Rock of Ages, but I do understand why people don't like Rock of Ages. It really is a specific targeted audience that they're going for here. If you liked old heavy metal, rock and roll, 80s music, you're going to like this movie, okay? What a lot of people don't know is that this is based on a play. And therefore, it sort of has a musical play kind of feel to it. And a lot of people going into that did not know that. And they're not expecting it to be under a certain format. As a matter of fact, they're expecting it to be sort of a, maybe like a Spinal Tap kind of thing. And, it's just not. Tom Cruise, I think, did a really good job. A lot of people rag on Tom Cruise. I'm still a Tom Cruise fan. I've not stopped being a fan. I think he's crazy and nutty and wacky in his personal life. But hey, that's his choice. He's not the first artist to ever be crazy, nutty, and wacky in his personal life. So who am I to judge? I mean, seriously. As usual, Paul Giamatti, you'll learn, if you watch this enough, you'll learn that I'm a big Paul Giamatti fan. I think he is really one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood. He is absolutely brilliant. Rock of Ages, the story is kind of slow at times. The one-liners are sometimes few and far between, but for the most part, it holds together, and the music kicks in, and you're singing along, and you're dancing, and you're saying, so it puts you in a mood. It's a mood movie, and that if you like the sort of culture of rock and roll and the sort of culture of heavy metal, you're gonna like the movie. If you don't, you're not gonna like it. I can't see it any other way. I can't see maybe somebody in their teens that's not into 80s music going and liking this film. I can't see that. If they do, they're probably one in about 100. So put that in perspective. I'm kind of older, so obviously I've listened to that music. I grew up with that music, and I got a kick out of watching it. So, but it is very specific to a specific audience. So beware of that. Let's move on to Prometheus, starring Michael Fassbender and directed by my favorite villain, Ridley Scott. I made some comments last week, and I've had actually a few people ask me about them, about what is it about Ridley Scott that bothers me. First of all, the part that doesn't bother me is that I think he's an absolutely brilliant director. He's directed one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Blade Runner, which is an incredible, incredible movie. Then he's done things that I think are really sloppy as he's gotten older, and I just don't understand why he did it. Like in Gladiator, at one point they're all sulking, and they're all, oh, I wish we could not be doing this anymore, and they're in a wooden box with steel swords. Bust yourselves out and go. And he doesn't do, I don't understand why he does things like that. And then an American Gangster, great movie, all the way till the very end. We spend 2.5 hours of caring about Frank Lucas, the Denzel Washington character, and then when he gets out of jail, we don't even know what happens to him. And this is a true story. There's no little blip, hey, so-and-so lived his life, for 30 years, lives in so... I don't understand that. How hard is that to type some stuff up on a screen? And he does these little things throughout a lot of his movies, and it just drives me insane. It's like, why can't you just be as brilliant as you were and still, catch the detail that you're missing? And it's huge mess-ups, in my opinion, for such a brilliant director. It shouldn't happen with him, is why I hold him to a higher standard. Because he set his standard high, so now he's getting judged up here, and rightly or wrongly, that's where I put him. Now, on with Prometheus. Did Prometheus bug me? Did it have anything that really bothered me? Yes, it did. It did. But it did not take away, like American Gangster, it did not take away from the film. I loved American Gangster. Overall, I thought it was a brilliant film. Overall, I like Prometheus. I don't think it's great, and I don't think it's brilliant, but I do think it is a really solid film. Now, on to the big debate. The big debate going into this movie was, is this an Aliens prequel? And I finally figured out why this became a big deal. Ridley Scott originally said that he wanted to do an Aliens prequel, that he had an idea for it, okay? Apparently, when they started with that idea, they hired on a new writer who used to be a writer of the Lost TV show, and they went into a totally different direction. So in his mind, it changed from being an Aliens prequel to being something on its own. Here's the big trick. And I'm going to piss off Ridley Scott, and I'm sorry. It's an Aliens prequel! Just say it. That's what it is. You still have the same elements of Alien. There's 3 or 4 elements of Alien that are in this movie. It's an Aliens prequel. Who cares? You made an Aliens prequel. It's not the end of the damn world. You don't have to be this sort of epic, big thing, okay? It's an Aliens prequel. Live with it, Ridley, okay? So just get that over with. So now that we know it's an Aliens prequel, how does it hold up? I think it holds up well. I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the action, and the vision of this picture was really good. The visual effects were really good. And on and on and on. I mean, it's really good. It's solid. Now, it could have been better. That's my only real criticism of this, is it really could have been better. They really create this sort of creationism versus Darwinism argument and debate throughout the whole film, and that drives the story. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I think it's a really good, element to throw in there. Were we created? Are we from Darwinism? What is it? And so that's kind of driving the story. And they're doing it with, a lot of good, like I said, special effects. But there are times when the story isn't nearly as good as the special effects, and the special effects to me are constantly good. I mean, it's a beautiful film. It's beautifully shot. So I don't know. It seems it fades a little bit in the story. It fades a little bit in the dialogue, but it's not so awful that it ruins the film. It wasn't like Snow White and the Huntsman, where that dialogue and story just fell apart. So this one is solid all the way through. I like it overall. I think Prometheus is worth your time, especially if you're a fan of Aliens. You need to go see Prometheus, okay? That's just the way I feel about it. Moving on to That's My Boy, starring Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg. Adam Sandberg, I don't know what more I can do to convince you that you really need to go a different direction, okay? Here's my wrist, here's a knife. Ah! Okay, it's painful watching your movies anymore. I kind of had high hopes for this one. I was like, maybe he's making a little bit of a cut. No, because I like this concept a little bit better. Here's the problem. Your comedy is not funny anymore. You changed your comedy. I think it's more mean-spirited. I think it's just rude. And the worst part is, it's just not funny anymore. That's my problem with Adam Sandler. And again, I'll say it again. I was a humongous Adam Sandler fan. Huge. And his last 3 or 4 movies have just been awful. I mean, the one with Jennifer Aniston, just go with it. It was probably his best effort in a while. And that's not saying much, because he's made a lot better films than that. So, I don't know. To me, it's another one of his dumpy, stupid, I'm funnier than everybody else, and he's not kind of movies. If you liked Jack and Jill, then you're going to love this one. That's the only way I could figure it out. I mean, because Jack and Jill was just absolutely stupid. I don't know. Again, it's that he came out and we hold him to a higher standard, and he has not even come close to hitting that higher standard. I mean, if he's in the Hall of Fame of comedic actors, okay, his movies shouldn't even be in the box office. That's how bad they are. I don't understand what he's doing. I really don't. Somebody needs to explain it to me. Because, please leave a comment if you think you know what he's doing. Because I have no clue. Adam Sandler, his career has completely derailed. Just completely derailed. I know he said in an interview last year that I'm just in it to make money now. Well, that's all you're doing. Congratulations. You're going to have absolutely no legacy left by the time you get through with all these dumb films. So, I feel sorry for you, man, because I know you got the talent. I know you do. But anyway. Out on DVD this week for all you DVDers, 2 movies. I'm suggesting 2 movies this week. The first is Wanderlust, if you want a nice comedy. Speaking of Jennifer Aniston, see, segue. That's called a segue. Speaking of Jennifer Aniston, she's in a movie called Wanderlust, and that is out on video this week with Paul Rudd. It is not a roll on the floor laughing kind of comedy, but it is a really solid comedy. I really enjoyed it. I like the picture. I recommend it. And what I touted as the best movie of the year is also out on DVD. It's no longer the best movie of the year because I said it was also early. Jeff, Who Lives at Home, starring Jason Segel and Ed Helms. Very, very, very good film about finding yourself. And my only problem with it is that it was billed as a comedy and it should have been billed as a drama. That's my only thing. So if you're looking for a comedy, go get Wanderlust. If you're looking for a drama, go get Jeff, Who Lives at Home. Okay? Very good film. Solid. It makes you think about yourself. It makes you think about who's around you. I absolutely enjoyed that film. It got completely underrated and it didn't stay in theaters near long enough. So, I don't know. That's all I got this week. I'm not sure what I'll be doing next week yet because I'm not sure what my schedule is. But come on back and I will fill your head full of wisdom. Or bunk, whatever you feel. Either way, I'll be back. Until then, I'll see you at the movies.